Hi, and welcome to another episode of Boozing with Boomers. I'm Dave, and I've been on a quest to learn how to make a great balanced cocktail. So please hit the subscribe button so we can go on this journey together. Today, we're going to make Apple of My Eye, which is a cocktail with not much history, because about 3 weeks ago, my wife declared that Boozing with Boomers should have a gin and apple cider cocktail. So I went to my laboratory, I made various recipes for today, and tasted them with my family, and this is the recipe that won, so I thank my family. And also, so you're aware, I am an amateur bartender, so any experiment that I do, I make sure to test all the recipes. But because I have a day job, I don't have a bar full of patrons that I can consistently experiment on, but I am working on that. And the great thing is it could take, or not the great thing, it could take a few weeks for me to finalize a recipe. The great thing about this recipe, because I think we had motivated family members, we got this accomplished in one weekend, so I hope you enjoy it. So today, we're gonna make an apple cider cocktail that I've named for my wife, who is the apple of my eye. So we're gonna start with the least expensive ingredients, to go back to the lesson from episode 1 and 2. And what's great is it's a lot of different flavors, but these are fall flavors. So this is a great fall cocktail, but it's also a great Thanksgiving cocktail. And we've got half an ounce of fresh lime juice, and it's gonna be a shake and drink. We have 1 ounce, so here's one of the secret ingredients, 1 ounce of honey simple syrup. And to make the honey simple syrup, because honey by itself is very difficult to work with, you put in 2 parts honey to 1 part water, heat it up on the stove, and you have to constantly stir it just to get it to integrate. But once you start to see the simmering bubbles, so before it boils, then let it sit, let it cool, and then you can start using it in the cocktail. So we're gonna use 1 ounce of the honey simple syrup, and as you can see, it pours out much better than honey. And then 2 ounces of the apple cider, and I actually have already dusted this with a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon as well, so to bring more of that cinnamon flavor out. And then lastly, I'm gonna make it with gin today with Sipsmith, but I've also made it with Blue Coat. Make sure I got that name right. Blue Coat Gin, which is a Pennsylvania distillery. It makes a good one as well. And if you're gonna use rum for this drink, the key thing is using a darker rum. I found a lighter rum, the flavors didn't come out as strong. So maybe the dark and stormy people out there could use the Gosling's Black Seal, which I think would be a good complement to these flavors as well. So we'll put in 2 ounces. So again, I will put this up, but it's 2 ounces of gin, 2 ounces of apple cider, 1 ounce of honey simple syrup, half an ounce of fresh lime juice, and 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. So then we're gonna shake this drink. And while I'm prepping myself for the shake, I in one of the episodes mentioned I didn't have a Tom Collins or a highball glass, and I'd like to do a shout out to Danae, who was nice enough to give me a set of 4, so now I can do cocktails correctly, since I have probably some more highball cocktails coming. Again, when we shake, we're gonna shake for 20 seconds. We don't wanna over dilute. Make sure that you're kind of facing away from the camera or humans, and I'll be back in 20 seconds. Ta-da! So, we then need some fresh ice for the glass, and I know it's sitting there, but it shouldn't ruin it. I'm gonna save a little bit for the boomer. What's tough about this cocktail is I can't make 2. You know, the shaker can only hold so much, and you wanna make sure there's enough air in the shaker as well. So that's the other thing to understand, is even if you look at this and say, oh, this is a 12-ounce mixing glass, you really don't want to get more than 3/4 up, because you're going to fill it with ice, and you need to have enough air in the glass as well as the tin to shake it up and really pummel it to integrate all the flavors. And we also need a nice little if I can do this right, and if I can't, I can just throw it in. Again, amateur bartender, yep, okay. So just toss it in there. You can see that I properly prepared this glass with an apple, and you can also put a cinnamon stick in there as well. So as you're making this and all these different flavors, feel free to get creative with the garnish, but let's see how I did. This is a dangerously smooth drink. This is definitely the kind of thing that you should have at Thanksgiving with your family if they're allowed to come to your house this year. I just think it would make it an exciting time. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Boozing with Boomers, an apple of my eye. Please hit the like button if you did, and subscribe so we can continue to learn together on this journey with Boozing with Boomers. Cheers.